Investors, I hope everyone had a great week. This is the top 7 stocks weekly recap, and boy, it was a crazy one, wasn't it? That was nuts. I loved Friday. It was so much fun. Throughout the day, at the beginning of the day, it kind of lowered itself a little bit, and I was getting a little nervous that we were in for another bad day, but man, did it turn around. And it really went crazy there towards the end. I just kind of give you some of my returns for the week, if you care. But if you were to follow this list, you should have had a 6.8% return today. That is if you made the changes that were set forth also with Stocktwits. Part of this, if you're going to get the most out of this, is not only to watch the videos and learn what you can about insider activity and also the way that that some of these picks are created and made, but also to follow on Stocktwits can save you quite a bit of money. There were some changes today throughout the day. The inter-day changes were crazy. And if so, please just follow me on Stocktwits at Raythoven, and then also set up alerts for any time I post. So that way you're kept completely up to date with any changes that might come on. It can really save you a lot of money. First thing, pick number 7 last night was GPS. This is the gap. And we had a 3.94% return. Very solid. Good, solid day, a little bit above average volume. I think this is going to be a good hold for quite a few days, and that is just getting started. So Monday we should continue to run right up. So that's the first one. The next is MBRV. MBRV is coming up on PDUFA date next week, so it should really be on your radar this week. I know it's on mine, so it's going to be heavily on my radar. Today it was up 3.85%, not a huge amount. It had terrific volume, 6 million volume versus 4.88 average, and then in aftermarket it's up 1.98. So this will definitely be on the list next week. This is a good hold throughout the week until we get closer to FDA approval. Next is AXDX. It had a decent day for sure, 2.07% return. So it did well. It's not anywhere near what it should be, and I think $11 is a good price target for this stock. So it's definitely going to continue to be on the list, and we'll see how it does going forward. TXMD had a really good day and a big bounce back that it needed, 7 million volume, which it desperately needed, 12.29% return. This was a good win for the day. It's a little bit down in aftermarket, but that could be just one share. So, it doesn't really mean a lot. Anyway, that's that one. This is getting a little bit far away from the insider activity, so it may be on the list another day or so, but I suspect its end is coming soon, unless there's some news or some reason why we need to hold it, some catalyst that I don't know about. We'll just keep an eye on it over the weekend. Okay, now comes the changes. Okay, so APRN. Today at 10:29, I put in a sell notification on Stocktwits. I made only a 1% gain on it, but I just wanted to get out of it. It was more about the other things that we could buy. And so that was a change that was made at 10:29, and then right at 10:30, I said buy Anix, ANIX, which will be on the list for this coming Monday. Anyway, that was a big change because Anix was a really good opportunity. There was a great insider, and I'll show you how well it did here later on, but it really did terrific. Okay, then T2. TTOO. Okay, so at the beginning of the day, it didn't do that great, really dropped, but then, man, did it turn around, and 20% gain today. Sure needed that. I thought that was great, and anyway, this is a long-term hold for me. I'm hoping for FDA approval by the end of the month, and also coming up on Monday is that I expect that they will meet NASDAQ compliance, and then that stock should really shoot up. So anyway, that's a good one to hold, and definitely going to be on the list next Monday. Okay, so this last pick is CLDX. Okay, so CLDX was our number 1 pick last night. Okay, well, we got early on this day, and I did a call out to sell CLDX on Stocktwits, and if you would have bought it when I said to buy it, and you would have sold it when I said to sell it, you would have made 103% gain total between it. I didn't make quite that much because I went through this little hiatus where I sold it and bought it back again. But I made over an 80% gain on it personally, which was pretty fantastic and really saved my day on Thursday. Now, they did a mixed shelf offering. They announced that at 8:15, but by 8:17, I was putting on an alert, and most people were selling it and getting out of it. So it did drop 11% today. But if so, you would have sold that, and you would have taken another request or another. If you were smart, you would have bought Kirk. I did a call out on Kirk. That's Kirkland's, and it's like my wife's favorite place to shop. And anyway, I put a call out on it, and if you would have bought that, I'll show you how well you would have done. So just remember, not only subscribe and hit the bell notifications, but go on to Stocktwits and follow us on Stocktwits so that follow me on Stocktwits so you can get these notifications as we go. Okay, so let me kind of go through how Kirk did and also how Annex did. Let's start with Annex. Okay, so I'm going to go here to good old Thinkorswim. Base ID it. Okay, so Annex made the call for Annex at 10:30. So let's go backwards to 10:30. So you would have got in it right here. You can kind of see even before confirmation, I got in it right at 206. So there was insider buying on it right around 2 o'clock. And some people didn't catch it, but I caught it. And I was able to buy into it and then put out a notification at that price. And I was able to get it at 206 and also get some at 207. Now you can see at first, didn't do much. Then bam, there's the first write-up. Okay, so that's really nice. And then it's not exactly a clean run-up. It's a little choppy, but the insider buy provided for more opportunities. Here is another one. And the high of the day was 239. So you see that big run-up right there. That is a thing of beauty right there at 130. And then it validated out, but I stayed in it, and I'm going to stay in it for days. That's how I like to do it with insiders. Anyway, so there's this. It went up, down, a little bit choppy there towards the end, but 225. You should have had a nice 15% return. And anyway, that was a great win, and that was much better than CLDX did today. So that would have been a big gain for you if you were to follow that. The next is Kirk. Okay, so I made the call out on Kirk way this morning, 7:15ish. I didn't even get into it till after CLDX sold. So anyway. So, really good price on it. I was able to get in right around the 140 range. And you're like, yeah, okay, that's not a very good call, not a very good call, not a very good call. Then, bam, this thing started to really rock and roll. Got all the way up to 177. Really nice gain today. And I'm going to hold it. And what's been going on with this one is just having insider activity every couple of days. And I expect this to continue going nuts. So anyway, that's really all I wanted to share with you today. I hope all of you had a great week. I know this was a very tumultuous week, a very volatile week. Was really glad that I got a 6.8% return today, and then also an 8.78 return this week. And so far in the last 30 days, 45% return. And if you were to follow some of the picks, you would have very similar results, maybe even better in some cases. But anyway, that's it for today. Hope everyone has a fantastic weekend, and